There is something intriguing when two people try to keep their distance in public, but their bodies, gazes, and energy between them say otherwise. That is what happened with Bai Jingting and Zhang Ruonan. On many occasions, they seemed like two people who wanted to hide something, but at the same time, they allowed the world to see the softest side of their relationship. The longer you watch them, the clearer it becomes that there is a truth they allow to emerge through small cracks, moments that are not covered up, and spontaneous gestures that cannot be faked. From the first time the two appeared together, the public sensed something that was difficult to explain. They looked natural, too natural to be just co-workers. It was as if there was a long-standing connection that grew quietly, surviving in places beyond the reach of cameras, then suddenly appearing in the form of small smiles or simple gestures that made people wonder, are they really just friends? Or is there something much sweeter? Their gaze is the first thing that catches the eye. Bai Jingting is known as an actor with mature and controlled expressions, but every time he is near Zhang Ruonan, something changes. His gaze becomes softer, warmer, as if his entire focus is drawn to only one person. And this is not a gaze made up for the camera. It's not an expression deliberately shown to support promotion. It's the way someone looks at a person they value, someone whose presence makes the whole room feel different. Meanwhile, Zhang Ruonan never seems to shy away. There are women who, when teased or given special attention in public, will try to look away, maintain their image, or move away a little. But not Ruonan. She responds to the gaze with a small smile, a smile that appears naturally and cannot be held back. There is a clear comfort in the way she looks at Bai Jingting, a comfort that cannot be created in a matter of days or weeks, but grows from a deeper closeness. Their body language was further proof. Many people don't realize that body language is the best betrayer of what the heart hides. When two people have nothing, they keep their distance. But Bai Jingting and Zhang Ruonan always unconsciously drew closer. Whether it was standing too close, walking side by side as if following the same rhythm, or simply tilting their bodies to face each other during conversation. Things like this cannot be controlled. They appear as a form of natural attraction that existed even before they were aware of it. There was a recording that caused a public uproar when Bai Jingting reflexively placed himself on the outside to protect Zhang Ruonan from the crowd. The gesture was simple, but the way he did it was so quick and natural, as if it was something he had done many times before. His hand raised halfway to ensure a safe distance, his steps slightly wider so that Ruonan wouldn't be pushed. Everything seemed like a habit that didn't just appear because the camera was on. On the other hand, Ruonan looked so calm nearby, as if she felt safe without needing to say anything. She wasn't surprised, she didn't blush excessively, and she didn't pretend, because perhaps she was used to receiving such protection from Bai Jingting. There was also a moment when their hands almost touched, and uniquely, there was no attempt to pull away. You know how celebrities usually try to keep their distance to avoid rumors. But what happened to them was different. The hands that almost touched were left there, at a distance that was too intimate for two people trying to keep their relationship a secret. There was no awkwardness, no attempt to pull away. Instead, there was a strange calm that raised the question, was this a coincidence? Or did they actually feel no need to pull away because that closeness was already part of their relationship? The way they laughed was no less suspicious. Bai Jingting's laughter sounded more carefree when he was with Ruonan, like someone who felt completely free to be himself. And Ruonan, who was known for her soft and sweet smile, seemed to give a different version of her smile when she was talking to Bai. There was a sparkle in her eyes, a happiness that couldn't be hidden. It was as if Bai's laughter was something that made Ruonan's world brighter. And this didn't just happen once or twice. Every time they were at an event, the pattern always repeated itself, making the public even more convinced that there was something between them that couldn't be described simply as colleagues. What's even more interesting is the way they call each other's names. When Bai Jingting says Ruonan, his voice sounds a little softer, as if he is saying the name of someone who means a lot to him. And when Ruonan says Jingting, her tone becomes softer, almost like a private call that only the two of them understand. This is not a promotional technique. This is not a professional way of speaking. It is the intonation that arises when a person's name carries more emotional meaning than just an identity. Their chemistry became a big topic of conversation not because of scripted scenes in the projects they starred in, but because of the natural interactions that arose even without a script. That kind of chemistry cannot be created in a day. It arises from closeness of heart, from mutual trust, from the comfort that grows when two people have shared emotional space for too long. The camera only shows a small part, but it's enough to convince anyone who sees it that this relationship is not based solely on professionalism. What makes everything even clearer is the fact that Bai Jingting and Zhang Ruonan never really tried to hide it. They didn't act panicked when they were caught together, they didn't keep their distance, and they didn't go out of their way to dispel rumors. They let time pass, let moments happen, and let the public draw their own conclusions from what they saw. There was a calmness in the way they dealt with rumors, as if they knew that the truth didn't need to be announced with words. The truth could speak through the little things they did without realizing it. Perhaps the reason they remained silent was not because they wanted to hide it, but because they believed that a good relationship did not always need to be announced. Sometimes, love grows peacefully behind the scenes, while the public only gets a small glimpse of a much bigger reality. And in the case of Bai Jingting and Zhang Ruonan, that glimpse has shown quite a lot. Too much, in fact, to be considered a coincidence. When two people try to hide their feelings but fail to restrain their bodies and hearts from revealing the truth, that is a sign that love is real. And Bai Jingting and Zhang Ruonan have shown this many times. In the way they look at each other, in the laughter that only appears when they are together, in the closeness that cannot be faked, and in the warmth they allow the public to see even without saying anything. In the end, they may not make a grand announcement. They may continue to live out this relationship quietly. But one thing is clear. The truth is evident in those moments that are not hidden. And for anyone who observes them with a sensitive heart, their love speaks louder than words.